Hi there, I'm Angela. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back, and welcome to another episode of Hashtag Friday Sews. Hi everyone, I hope your weekend's off to a great start. I love Friday nights in our household. It's one of the things that we look forward to, where we can just kind of wind down and all be together, but we're each doing our own thing. For me, I'm usually kind of hanging out in the living room watching Friday Sews videos. Hubs is on the couch watching his stuff on TV, and we use our earbuds if we need to distract each other. And then after we kind of wind down a little bit, then we'll usually watch something together. So enough about that, more than you guys probably care to know. My whole point is to say that Fridays are for relaxation. I hope yours is off to a great start. And first things first, I want to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for always inspiring us to share our weeks with each other. And big thanks to you guys. And to any new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I hope that you feel welcome here. The sewing community at large is such a fantastic place. Everyone's very helpful, which is one of the best things about having a YouTube channel for me, is that I get to interact with you guys and we help each other. So it's so fantastic. So with that housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into sewing for this past week. I finished my McCall's M8099 pants. I'll put a picture of the pattern here. And here in just a minute, I'll put in a little video of me wearing the pants so you can see how they turned out. This is my second time making these pants. I loved the way my first pair turned out so much that I thought it was worth making them again. And in that video, I did a review of the pattern. In that video, I'll put a link to that video up here. And I kind of focused on how to sew the cargo pocket, which is on like the front sides of midway down the leg. To me, that is the most challenging thing about these pants. Otherwise, there's nothing to them. They're just elastic waist pants with patch pockets on the back. They do have front pockets, up here at the waist. And the cargo pocket's not difficult. It just, when I made that first pair, it was my first time ever doing that. So I had to kind of figure out how to exactly like fold in the corners to get it to puff out just right, to be like roomy, so that you could put your phone and all your cargo in there. So I kind of had to refer back to that when making these, because it's been a year since I made that first pair, and I hadn't realized like how much time had gone by. But I made that first pair for hashtag uary last year, and this new pants. I'm wearing them right now, is why I keep pointing down. Is my first pair of pants for January of this year, or what I call hashtag pantsuary. And if you've seen my last couple of videos, you know that my other pair of pants that I want to finish this month are my Love Notions Duet trousers. And I've got the pieces cut out. They look pretty simple. Those have a side zip. I'm really excited about making these because they're a little bit dressier. And I thought for half a moment, they don't have any pockets in the back. They do have like the front pockets on the side, like a jeans pocket or something. I thought for half a minute about trying to do a welt pocket in those, because learning how to do a welt pocket is one of my goals for 2023. But then I thought again, I want to practice that on some scraps first before cutting into my nice fabric that I got from Style Maker. So all of their fabrics are so good. I'm not about to like ruin that fabric. So the welt pocket will have to wait. And I don't know if that's something that once you've made up the pants, you could go back in later and add the welt pocket. I'm just pretty clueless on how that whole thing's constructed, but it's possible I could add it in later once I practice a few times. So anyway, those pants are in progress, and I'm excited to get going on those. Hopefully next week I'll have a good update on those pants for you guys. And other than that, I do want to show you. So for a minute, like those, going back to the Duet pants, you can make those out of woven with a side zip, or you can make them out of a knit, more like a yoga type pant. And in that case, there's a different waistband. It's called the yoga waistband. And you use 3-inch elastic. And I was kind of probably half asleep when I was making my list of what I needed for those pants, because when I got to Joann's to get my zipper, and some thread that matched. I picked up the elastic, and then I get home and I'm thinking, like, why do I need this elastic? I'm not doing the yoga, the knit pant, but now I'm kind of tempted to find some fabric in my stash that'll work. And if the woven version turns out pretty good, just to immediately make them again out of the knit. But I want to share with you, I want to pull out that elastic and show you guys. It might be nothing new for you. For me, it's kind of interesting because I've never bought elastic like that wide. I didn't even know they made 3-inch elastic. Well, of course they do. But I want to show that to you guys. So just a second. Okay, this is it. And it's just the whole package is just kind of tickles me. It's just like a little thick thing of 3-inch elastic. I don't know why this tickles me. It just kind of does. I think it's like when you see an object that's either like a miniature of an object or a really big version of an object. It kind of is like cute or whatever, but that's how this elastic strikes me. So yeah, it's called it's 3 inches. You get 2 yards of it, and it's just called 3-inch knit elastic Drits. So I thought that was funny to share that with you guys. And that's about all I have to share with you sewing wise. Oh yeah, one other thing. I did take advantage of Love Notion's feature, with the $5 Feature Friday pattern. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they call it, but every Friday they offer one of their patterns for $5. And because I've had good success, at least with the one pattern I've made, and now with my Duet that's going well, I went ahead and every Friday when I'm on their email list, I do take a look and see which pattern is the $5 pattern. And today it was the Oakley vest. So I went ahead and got it, and who knows, maybe I'll incorporate that into my capsule somehow. Oh, yeah. And thanks, you guys, for all the good feedback on my capsule planning video. That was so much fun for me to put together for you guys. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So happy you enjoyed it. And of course, I'll be taking you all along on the ride as I progress with that. And I did have a comment, and I wanted to about that. And it wasn't a bad comment; it was a question somebody had, and I thought it was a good question. And I'm glad she asked that to give me a chance to explain. So she commented, the viewer commented that the fabrics looked really pretty for fall or winter. And I know during that video I had mentioned a couple of times about it'll be June by the time I finish making all these things. Well, she commented, will I have any like summer color fabrics to add into it? And so what I responded to her was that this is strictly meant to be like a fall winter capsule. And if I was a quicker sewer, I'd have it all done in a month and get to wear it at least in February. But because I am slow, I feel like by the time it's finished, like I get all of the 10 pieces finished, it probably will be approaching fall. And then I'll have them all ready to wear for fall, because all the tops in the capsule are long sleeve. Not that you can't wear a long sleeve in the summer, but typically that would be more for cooler weather. I might be able to wear the vest or the skirt in the summer, but either way, all of these things should be ready by fall, and I'll have like a whole new wardrobe going into the fall and winter. So that's a good question. I'm glad that got asked in the comments. So before we get into the life portion of Friday Sews, I'm going to put a little video clip in right now of me wearing my McCall's M8099 pants so you guys can see how they turned out, and then I'll be back. As far as life, I mentioned last week that I have started going back to yoga classes. So I'm still doing that, still enjoying it. And I'm finding that this week it was a little bit easier, and I wasn't quite as stiff and like creaky, like my joints creaking. So it was a little bit easier. I enjoyed it a little bit more. And that feeling that if any of you have ever done yoga, that feeling at the end of class where you're just so relaxed and mellow. Like I'm starting to reap that as the benefit and not just like, oh, I'm sore now. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm going to continue on with that. I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. And I am, speaking of like creaking and knees and joints, I took a fall last October. Actually, I was knocked down by our dog. You guys, if you watched any previous video, he was on one or two videos. And he's a solid little stout dog, just muscular. And he's young, so he's a little crazy. He's a lab Rottweiler mix named Farley, and we adopted him in August. He at 1 year old, 1 year old, and we were having a cookout, and he was acting crazy, just running around, and I was unaware that he was barreling down right towards me like full speed, and he just plowed right into me. And I, without warning, like I didn't even see it coming, and he just knocked me right to the ground, and I landed my right on my knees. I mean, I just went down hard, like right on my knees, especially my right knee, which hit the ground first. So ever since then, I've been having a lot of pain, and I kept thinking, "Oh, it'll get better, it'll get better." But instead, seemed like it was kind of getting worse. So I did finally go see my doctor, my primary care doctor, and he did some, flexing my knees and my legs and all that, and had me go for an X-ray. Everything looked good on the X-ray, thank goodness. So it's probably more of a soft tissue thing. So he referred me to physical therapy. So I started my physical therapy today. And that's going to be like a workout, just the exercises. I've got this band and like pages of exercises to do. So I'm not complaining. But because my knee and like my whole front of my quadricep area is so sore, the exercises are kind of tough. They do cause a little pain. The therapist said that will improve as time goes on. So he's starting me out just with some light things, and we'll progress from there just to get back to a certain level of fitness. Yes, so that's kind of how my week went. Finishing up with that today, but I was impressed. He seemed very knowledgeable, so I feel like I'm in good hands. And had a little bit of work done to my car, nothing major, oil change, that kind of thing. And I do need new tires. So that's never like something that you want to hear, especially after the holidays and you're kind of broke, but it's okay. Like I've been riding on these same tires for 10 years now. And the tires, because they're big tires, so they still actually have tread on them. The thing that the mechanic told us is that they're starting to dry rot just because they're so old. So we will be looking at new tires next week, and maybe there will be some sales. Maybe if I can hold off till President's Day in February. Don't they do all kinds of good sales? I know they do on appliances and things like that. Maybe they do tire sales too. So we'll be looking at that. And that's pretty much it. I keep this one kind of short and sweet. I know my last one was on the longer side. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you're able to get some sewing in if you're so inclined. And I hope you'll come back next week. That's one more thing I want to tell you guys. So next week, I'm going to do a video about my plans to sew down my stash. I talked a little bit about that in my capsule planning video. And I primarily was able to shop my stash for the pieces in that plan, which I was glad of because I'm really itching to sew down my fabric stash and get it at least so it's more manageable. I feel like it's overbearing. Like, when you get too much clutter or something, or things are too messy and you start feeling it like a weight pressing in. I don't know if any of you guys feel that. I feel that way sometimes if everything seems like it's out of control in my house. That's how I feel with my fabric stash. So I'm excited to sew down my stash. And I am going to kind of give you guys my plan for that. And it's not going to be that detailed. Like my capsule wardrobe with 10 pieces is going to take care of a lot of it, some of it. But I actually have a starting number of yardage that I have on hand and number of pieces of fabric that I have. So I thought I would kind of present that, and every week, maybe on Friday Sews, give you guys an idea of where I'm at on that. Hold me a little bit accountable. So I think that's truly it this time. And I'm going to let you guys go. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Get some sewing in. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.